Namaskar. Welcome to the 76th episode of Granthyatra. The book that we are going to discuss today is Rao, a novel by N.S. Inamdar. This novel is based on the life of the second Peshwa of the Maratha Empire, Shreemant Bajirao, who was well known as a brave fighter and a skilled leader. In the last episode of Granthyatra, we discussed the play Dusra Peshwa based on the life of Bajirao Peshwa and written by Shirvadkar. Bajirao's undefeatable run on the battlefields, strengthening of the borders of the Maratha Empire, establishment of the Maratha kingdom's supremacy across Hindustan, his love for Mastani, opposition from his family and his subjects who were incapable of understanding the stature of his love and valor, and the conflict arising out of it are the major incidents in Bajirao's life. In the play Dusra Peshwa, we saw the poetic treatment of these incidents. Today, we are going to see an entirely different treatment of these in the novel Rao. The narrative is the same, but a different presentation by another competent writer provides the readers an opportunity to look at Bajirao's life from a different angle. Nagnath Santaram Inamdar was born in 1923 at the Gomewadi village of Sangli district. During his school days, he became a worker of the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh. He obtained his higher education from Banaras Hindu University and Aligarh Muslim University. After completing post-graduation in economics, he began to write for newspapers Sakal and Kesari and for magazines Hans, Mohini and Kirloskar. He also edited a periodical called Bhumi Taranga. Inamdar wrote 7 historical novels: Jep or The Leap, Zunz, The Fight, Mantra Vegla, Different from the Mantra, Rao, Shahenshah, The Emperor, Shikast, Struggle, and Rajeshri, The Great King. These novels cover an expansive period from the beginning of the Maratha Empire to its decline. The novels Jep, Zunza, and Mantra Vegla portray the lives of prominent personalities who lived during the decline of the Maratha Empire, such as Trimbakji Dengre, Yashwantrao Holkar, and Bajirao II. The novel Shahenshah picturizes Aurangzeb's character. The protagonist of the novel Shikast is the unfortunate Parvatibai, the wife of Sadashivrao Bhau, who was the commander of the Maratha forces in the Third Battle of Panipat, whereas Rajeshri explores the mind of King Shivaji. Except for Rao and Rajeshri, his other novels focus on somewhat neglected personalities from history. The novel Rao, based on the life of Bajirao I, was published in 1972. Even before the entry of the novel's protagonists Bajirao and Mastani, the novelist introduces the readers to some of the important characters such as Bajirao's wife Kashibai, his brother Chimaji Appa, his mother Radhabai, his son Nana Saheb, and his chief administrator Ambaji Pant. The novel begins on a happy note when the building of Shanwarwada, the Peshwa's elegant castle in Pune, has just been completed, and the Peshwa has won the battle against Commander Dabhade, who had defected to the Nizam. Describing the consequences of this military campaign, Inamdar writes, "The ripples of the campaign against Dabhade were felt not just in the Maratha kingdom. The Nizam of Hyderabad was also humiliated. The politics of regions beyond Narmada began to change. 2 of the Maratha commanders had defected to the Nizam one after the other. Both were put down by the Peshwa. As a result, Shahu Chhatrapati's name came to be feared by the entire Hindustan." A victorious Peshwa returns from the military campaign and sets his camp in the garden of Kothrud as he awaits an auspicious time to enter his newly built castle. This is where Mastani quietly enters the narrative. There are passing references to Mastani in the novel before she actually meets Bajirao. When Radhabai, Bajirao's mother, narrates the long withheld secret about her dancer co-wife to her daughters, Bhuyubai mentions the presence of a dancer in the garden of Kothrud, where the Peshwa has made arrangements for her stay. When Bajirao is on the military campaign, this Muslim dancer had requested for permission to perform a religious offering at the temple of Mrutyunjay. She has also registered a complaint with Chimaji Appa against the knights in Peshwa's army who had hunted her pair of pet deer. She meets Rao for the first time to pursue this very complaint. Bajirao glanced at the delicate form standing before him. Her shapely figure, her fair complexion, her respectful posture, her quick eyes visible through her veil, all that was very alluring. Those eyes took stock of the young Bajirao for a moment, and then they were lowered. This dramatization and picturesque style is noticeable in several places in Inamdar's writings. Bajirao compensates her with a pair of deer from his personal collection, assigns some guards around her castle as per her wish, and also expresses his desire to listen to her singing that very night. Inamdar does not provide details of Mastani's life before she comes to Pune. There is a passing reference that she was part of the large posse of gifts that Bajirao received following his campaign in Bundelkhand. Most characters in the novel refer to her as an artist. At the beginning, her association with Bajirao too is as an artist who performs singing and dancing. Unlike the play Dusra Peshwa, in this novel, Mastani has not been portrayed as the adopted daughter of Chhatrasal Bundela, a brave warrior and a unique person who openly confesses her love to Bajirao. Bajirao is attracted to her beauty, her enticing art, and her sweet behavior. He does love his wife Kashibai, but he is addicted to the ecstasy that he experiences in Mastani's company. I always live in ecstasy, Pant. Did I think twice when the king handed me the responsibility to look after the kingdom at the age of 19? Ever since, I have been sacrificing my life every single moment until now. Pant, I am always ecstatic in war and love. Your advice of moderation is of no use to me, says Bajirao. Just like the war on the battlefield, Bajirao goes on winning the political moves too. Despite contrary advice by many well-wishers, he follows his own conviction and meets the Nizam. At this political summit, he makes the Nizam agree to his terms and conditions. Inamdar effectively recreates the historical atmosphere in the description of this meeting by portraying the contemporary political intricacies, the customs of the ruling class, and the threat to their lives not only on the battlefield but at every moment. Gradually, Bajirao and Mastani begin to see each other more often. Bajirao then forbids her to perform before others like any other artist. Bajirao slowly begins to experience the displeasure of his family members because of his relationship with Mastani. Eventually, Mastani gets pregnant and Bajirao is overjoyed. At the time, Mastani cleverly impresses upon Bajirao's mind her lonely and helpless condition. While trying to reassure her, Bajirao agrees to dine with her. The news that Bajirao, a Brahmin by birth, eats the forbidden food and drinks alcohol with Mastani, a Muslim dancer, spreads in the Orthodox society of Pune like wildfire. The Brahmins boycott Bajirao's family, and this stings Bajirao's pride. The way I face any challenge in the battlefield with my sword, I don't like it when others try to assert their power unnecessarily in my personal life. I will do what I want and act the way I wish. I do not care if that hurts anyone, he declares. And then Rao, as Bajirao is fondly called, decides to take Mastani with him to live at his palace Shanwarwada. He even gets a special castle built for her there. The more the members of Bajirao's family resent her presence, the harder Mastani tries to get close to them. She wishes to send gifts to Bajirao's mother on her return from pilgrimage. She asks for permission to visit Chimaji Appa when he falls sick, and she has an acute desire that Kashibai should watch her dance performance. She feels that these acts would further endear her to Bajirao's heart. Mastani's efforts to develop a close relationship with Bajirao's family, Chimaji Appa's serious illness, the king's displeasure over petty issues, the distance that creeps into Bajirao's relationship with Kashibai, and the boycott of Bajirao's family by the Brahmins spoil the atmosphere in Pune. Bajirao begins to drink regularly when he is on military campaigns. Mastani not only encourages him but also supplies him with drinks at his residence. When Chimaji Appa orders Mastani to leave Pune, Bajirao gallops alone through the wilderness to find her and then brings her back. When he subsequently sets out for a war campaign against the Mughal ruler in Delhi, he takes Mastani with him. Inamdar's skill in depicting this campaign is praiseworthy. He succeeds in giving the readers an experience of accompanying Bajirao on this campaign as his forces gallop at the speed of wind. Bajirao returns triumphant from this campaign. When he visits the king, subsequently, the queen does not accord a welcome to Mastani and Bajirao feels insulted. Mastani's arrival at Peshwa's residence in Pune and Bajirao's insistence that she should be accorded due respect leads to further rift in his family. Bajirao expects all to abide by his wishes and consider his word as the law because of his designation of Peshwa and because he had strengthened the Maratha Empire with his incessant efforts since a young age. Those who had led an orthodox and confined life are unable to understand the leap of his dreams and his love. When even the common people begin to talk about Bajirao's actions, his lieutenants Malharrao Holkar, Ranoji Shinde, who had also been his friends since childhood, and his teacher Pilaji Jadhav Rao travel to Pune to meet Rao and counsel him on his behavior. Though Bajirao is not happy to see them, on the insistence of Pilaji Jadhav, he agrees to leave behind Mastani in Pune when he goes out on the campaign against Nasirjung. When he leaves, Chimaji Appa keeps Mastani under house arrest. Mastani escapes from the castle and joins Bajirao. But remembering his promise to his lieutenants, Bajirao sends her back. When later Bajirao learns that Mastani has been arrested on reaching Pune, he expresses his pain to Chimaji Appa. Appa, Mastani and Bajirao are not two different persons. No one can separate them. My faith in the compassion that I thought all of you possessed has now washed away in this river Ganga. Isn't there such a thing as forgiveness in this world? Should you deny me the right to be treated with humanity just because I am the Peshwa? Bajirao falls sick while on the campaign and dies at a young age while thinking of Mastani till the very end. Several thoughts arise in the mind while reading this novel. Why was Bajirao, who could defeat every enemy in the battlefield, who could inspire his lieutenants and soldiers to take on mighty armies, who could diplomatically handle the political moves, was not able to respond successfully to his familial and social situation? Why was he not able to maintain his personal relationships in a manner that would have preserved the respect for his wife and mother and at the same time accorded dignity to Mastani? What indeed is the nature of love? Does a person in love feel his or her own self-esteem gratified at the thought that someone who possesses something special is attracted to them? Is the perceived love for that other person ultimately a love for the self? Giving rise to these thoughts in the reader's mind while untangling the tale of Bajirao and Mastani is the success of this novel. Today we have with us Professor Rajendra Watane, who will tell us more about this novel.
बाजीराव मस्तानीची भावकथा होय. शौर्य, बुद्धिमत्ता आणि धाडस व असामान्य सौंदर्याचा मिलाप म्हणजे ही प्रेमकथा. राऊ या कादंबरीचा प्रारंभ शनिवार वाड्यातील वास्तुशांतीच्या प्रसंगाने झाला आहे, तर शेवट बाजीरावाच्या मृत्यूने झाला आहे. या कादंबरीत बाजीरावांप्रमाणेच चिमाजी अप्पा, राधाबाई, काशीबाई, नानासाहेब यासोबतच दिल्लीचे तख्त, त्यासाठीचे राजकारण, छत्रपती शाहू महाराज, निजाम इत्यादींनाही तेवढेच महत्त्व दिले आहे. त्यामुळे राऊ ही कादंबरी बाजीराव मस्तानीची प्रेमकथा न राहता बाजीरावांचे जीवन समर ठरते. बाजीरावांच्या अचाट बुद्धिमत्तेची आणि विलक्षण युद्ध कौशल्याची साक्ष यातून पडते. नास इनामदारांनी यातून ऐतिहासिक पटच वाचकांपुढे साकारला आहे. जणू काही आपण पेशवे काळात वावरत असल्याचा पदोपदी भास होतो. नगारखान्यात चौघड्यावर टिपरी पडली आणि सर्वांना समजलं की पेशव्यांना पुत्ररत्न झालं. तोफांचे बार झाले. उंटावरती नौबती झडत असताना हत्ती गजगतीनं पुण्याच्या रस्त्यातून झुलत चालू लागला. हत्तीवरून साखर वाटण्याचा समारंभ सुरू झाला. या कादंबरीतील लहान मोठ्या सर्वच पात्रांनी समर्थपणे राऊचे कथानक गतिमान केले आहे. विलक्षण शौर्य आणि निश्चिम प्रणय अशा दोन स्तरावर बाजीरावाचे व्यक्तिमत्व लेखकाने विकसित केले आहे. बाजीराव जसे संगीताचे जाणकार तसेच सौंदर्य लुब्ध होते. त्यामुळेच मस्तानीचं सौंदर्य बघून क्या खूबसूरती है असे बोलून दाखवितात. त्याचप्रमाणे त्यांची शिस्तप्रियताही लक्षणीय होती. स्पष्ट वक्तेपणा, न्यायप्रियता यासोबतच बाजीराव निष्णात अश्वपारखी होते. बाजीरावांचं जेवढं काशीबाईवर प्रेम होतं तेवढाच मस्तानीचा त्यांना ओढा होता. मस्तानी देखील वीरवृत्तीची आणि बाजीरावांच्या पाठीशी खंबीरपणे उभी राहणारी होती. शमशेर बहादूर हा बाजीरावां मस्तानीचा मुलगा होता. राऊतून तत्कालीन समाजाचे चित्र लेखकाने हुबेहूब रेखाटले आहे. तत्कालीन समाजात दिवाळीच्या सुमारास भरणारा भटकींचा बाजार, अंधश्रद्धा, रूढी परंपरा, लोकसमजुती इत्यादींचे तपशिलाने आलेले वर्णन लक्षवेधक आहे. याशिवाय भाषेतील उत्साहवर्धक रचनातंत्र, भावोत्कटता, रसपरिपोष, मार्मिक संवाद, विविध अलंकारांचा वापर, बारीक सारीक तपशील देणारी वर्णनशैली, म्हणी, वाक्प्रचार, सुभाषित वजा वाक्य इत्यादींमुळे कादंबरी वाचताना क्षणाक्षणाला औत्सुक्य वाढत जाते. एखाद्या चलचित्राप्रमाणे या कादंबरीतील एक एक पट उलगडत जातो. पेशवे काळात मराठी माणसांच्या तोंडीही हिंदी उर्दूचा सर्रास वापर होताना दिसतो. उदाहरणार्थ, आला हजरत हुक्म कीजिए ताबडतोब तामिली होईल, तर कुठे कामा तुराना न भय न लज्जा यासारखी संस्कृत प्रचूर रचनाही आढळते. रसिकांप्रमाणेच समीक्षकांच्याही पसंतीला उतरलेली राऊ ही कादंबरी बाजीरावांचा पराक्रम तर अधोरेखित करतेच, शिवाय एक माणूस म्हणून त्यांचे मन, त्याचे खाजगी जीवन, त्यातील घटना व त्यामागील कार्यकारण भाव दर्शविते. त्यामुळे इतिहासापलीकडील बाजीरावाचे एक व्यक्तिमत्व आपल्या मनात स्थिरतावर होते आणि हेच राऊ या कादंबरीच्या यशाचे गमक आहे.
It is not easy to write a historical novel. The writer has to walk the tightrope between gathering of historical facts, making accurate assumptions where these facts are inadequate, and creating an emotional reality from it all. Inamdar's writings show that he was a master at this balancing act. I hope you too would like his writings. We shall meet in the next episode of Granthyatra to experience some transformative poetry. Until then, keep reading.